Kapil Sibal is representing the Congress this evening. Thank you very much. Mr. Kapil Sibal will be debating with Arun Jaitley of the BJP joining us live on this show. Mr. Jaitley, welcome. And to ask them the questions, Swaminathan Iyer, Decision 09 panelist, Mahesh Rangarajan, top political analyst, also joining us on Decision 09, and Paranjoy Guha-Thakurta. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, we'll go straight with the debate and the big news event. One of the big news events of this week, in fact, perhaps the biggest news event, has been the events in Lahore, the attack on the Sri Lankan team bus. And in the context of the election debate, my first question goes out to my political panelists tonight. Mr. Sibal, to you first. Post-Lahore, Pakistan is claiming the victim. So it's back to square one in a way. Has your government really got its Pakistan strategy, which it is claiming so much for, actually right? Do you think people are with you on this?
Oh, absolutely. I have no doubt that people have realized that the mature way in which our government has reacted after the 9/11 attacks and the fact that we've got world opinion with us. The fact is that we have been able to establish through a dossier prepared very carefully that the epicenter of terrorism is Pakistan. And of course the 9/11 took place from there and all of them were involved in it. And this is now which is recognized the world over. No. Now, having said that, this is not something that had ever been established before. Whenever we made, whether it was the attack in Parliament earlier or attacks made in various parts of the country, at no stage were we able to, through documents, establish that Pakistan, and Pakistan has now acknowledged it.
Are you right
in that, confessed.
Are you right in saying that when the BJP, when the NDA was in power, the BJP can also make the claim it gave you enough documentation to Pakistan?
No, but we have been able to extract a confession from the Pakistani establishment for the first time in the history of terrorism, terrorist attacks in our country. They have admitted, yes, they came.
But they haven't acted. They've admitted but not acted.
I'm just saying that this is now the global opinion is dead against them as never before. People used to talk about, well, you know, they are maybe terrorists, but they also they have some interest in, you know, it's because of Kashmir. And remember, even the gentleman, the British, the minister who came here ultimately said he was wrong. He should have understood the sensitivities of the matter. He also recognized that Pakistan is the epicenter.
Mr. Jaitley, and that's the point being made, that the government says it's got, it's on the right ground and the people are with it because a cerebral foreign policy with a coercive diplomacy is a better approach, in Chidambaram's words, than the muscular approach that the BJP had during Operation Parakram.
Well, I think terrorism is not an issue which really should have been politicized in this country. The credentials of the Congress party on the UPA on the issue of terrorism are a suspect. This is a government which 4.5 years misled this country, yet you didn't require any kind of coercive and a strong India approach in dealing with terror. It's only pursuant to Mumbai, where all our flanks were uncovered, that we realized that how vulnerable a state which we have become. Even post that date, today to expect that we've got a confession out of Pakistan that its territory is being used is absolutely incomplete. You have the United States, which seriously believes that Pakistan's non-state actors are involved, the state actors are not involved. You had the British Foreign Secretary David Miliband, who comes here and says terrorism in India will continue till such time that the root cause of terrorism in India, that is Kashmir, continues to remain. You don't seriously expect the Pakistani establishment to own up the role of the ISI and the Pakistan military as far as the Mumbai attack and other terrorist attacks are concerned. The Pakistani establishment can at best speak in terms of non-state actors, and there the Prime Minister of India made a historical blunder when he said that the Pakistan also is a victim of terrorism. What has happened in Pakistan yesterday, I think is strong enough now to convince the whole world that this entire distinction being made in Pakistan between state actors and non-state actors is increasingly getting obliterated. Pakistan is becoming a Talibanized state.
I allow you a quick rebut because our panelists also want to come into this.
I think that whatever Arun has said applies in much greater measure to when the BJP was in power. Remember what happened when Parliament was attacked. What are the strong and coercive measures that the then BJP NDA government took? They had Operation Parakram. For 11 months, they were, face to face with the enemy, did nothing about it. They took no coercive measures. Now, Rajnath Singh, their own president, says we should attack Pakistan, right? No, what? And when Kargil happened, and Pakistanis occupied our territory, what are the coercive measures they took? When the hijacking happened and they delivered the terrorists to Pakistan, were these the coercive measures you're talking about? So I don't want to make this debate again. I said terrorism is not an issue on which parties should take political advantage. But it's their party which immediately after the 9/11 acts set out advertisements throughout Delhi that if you want to choose a party that can fight terror, it must be the BJP.
But
so I'm just saying
not doing it now.
That's because he knows that it backfired. He knows that if he tries to do it in this election, it's not going to
Mr. Jaitley,
it's not going to work.
Are you on the defensive on terrorism after 26/11?
Where is the question of being on the defensive after 26/11? In fact, we are vindicated after 26/11. We need serious analysts to analyze this issue, that whatever we said prior to 26/11, the Congress party, at least on special law, had to partly cover that distance and negate everything that it stood for. Whatever we said prior to 26/11, that we are unprepared against these attacks, our intelligence is in shambles, stands vindicated.
Their intelligence, one second, their intelligence was in place when Kargil happened. Their intelligence was in place when Parliament was attacked. Their intelligence was in place. Let's be clear on it. Your intelligence, through 6 years of NDA rule, you did not know how to handle Pakistan. For 6 years, you did not know how to handle Pakistan.
Let me post 26/11 place one more material fact. And that one material fact is the diplomacy during the NDA period changed the traditional agenda. That was internationalization of Kashmir. We changed it to internationalization of cross-border terrorism. I am afraid Pakistan is somewhat succeeding in bringing that original agenda.
Has the government got its Pakistan strategy right, and how will it be looked upon as an election issue? Mahesh.
My question to both Mr. Sibal and Mr. Jaitley is, any engagement with Pakistan post 26/11 and post 9/11, are we getting the message across to the new US administration, and what do we want them to do? Are they more likely to be more alive to our concerns now than they've been in the past?
There are two issues here. Number one, we want to make sure that those responsible should be prosecuted and punished. And number two, and that is even more important, that the epicenter of terrorism, that is the camps that are located in Pakistan, must be eliminated. And I think the American administration has also indicated the same thing and voiced it, saying that Pakistan must get rid of its terrorist camps. So in a sense, we've been able to get the international diplomacy in place against Pakistan, recognizing Pakistan as a source of terrorism.
Okay. It's like this. Mr. Kapil Sibal said that parties should not take political advantage of the threat. Mr. Jaitley says terrorism should not have been politicized. But this is precisely what is being done by both Mr. Sibal and Mr. Jaitley. The fact is, what after 26/11, how did the voters of Delhi behave? How did the voters of Madhya Pradesh behave? For them, was terrorism an issue? I think terrorism as an issue transcends political parties. And I think the average voter, the person on the street, your so-called Aam Aadmi, realizes that it doesn't matter whether it's a Congress or the BJP.